Welcome to Back Issues. I'm Sal.
I'm Ethan.
I'm Ben.
So, Avengers Endgame is either out or coming. All I know is the ending's been spoiled for you already, I'm sure. But we figured we'd talk about an Avengers story today. Why not? The last Avengers story. Literally, the book is called The Last Avengers Story. It is the final hour of the Avengers, written by seminal comic book writer Peter David, with art by Ariel Olivetti. This story has a lot of caveats to it. First of which is it came out in 95.
Okay.
It was written in 86.
What?
Yeah, Peter David wrote this story in 86. And Marvel was like, kind of bleak, kind of dark.
We want at least another decade of selling comics before we ruin the franchise.
Well, what if we wait until we're bankrupt before we release it?
Right.
And so they did.
Because then it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a grittier time.
Right, for all of us. There's a lot of reasons why they asked David to wait or why they shelved it. Comics like this happen all the time, by the way. A lot of great pitches you'll never see, written by amazing writers who probably don't even work anymore. They're just sitting in a drawer, and that drawer was thrown on Fifth Avenue, just left to rot.
That sucks.
I know, it really does suck. Like, you don't have any idea how many stories have been lost the winds of time. We've actually referenced a couple of them on this show here, so if you're not familiar with the show, subscribe, check out everything else, because it's all great stuff.
All of it.
Yeah, every single video on this channel is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every video is great.
I'm proud of
by
every-
us.
yeah.
Every video is not always all great stuff.
No.
There are some things.
Well,
that are not great.
We're not saying the books are great.
But we are.
we are always great.
So-
that is true. That is a fact.
Yeah, the last Avengers story, obviously, it's not the last Avengers story because it was 95.
Right.
It's been like 25 years.
It's
Come
one
on.
of those, like, looking into the
Imaginary.
future, what could happen.
Yeah, it's a what-if book.
Yeah.
Right.
But it has no what-if on it whatsoever. Instead, it has the Alternaverse.
Oh my god.
That's a
what?
thing?
Yes, the Marvel Alternaverse.
I've never heard of that.
That was a version of what-if. Marvel's never satisfied with something that's
That works?
classic and works.
Right.
So they're like, all right,
Screw what if.
what if we have
Oh, you can't
Turniverse?
say what if?
How about Alternaverse, in which we have much bleaker stories that still work in What If, but also don't have the Watcher bookending them.
Uh-huh.
Other books had come out under Alternaverse, but not many, and then they stopped and went back to What If. A couple of them are Punisher Kills the Marvel Universe, and another book that people want us to do called Ruins.
Given the tone of the movie.
Yes, it may
Yeah.
be the last Avengers story in the MCU for many
At
seminal
least
characters.
with this particular
Yeah.
group of Avengers.
And certainly you'll see a couple of Avengers that might be in the MCU or might be used at some point in the future. Who knows?
This is interesting. Is this Apocalypse?
No.
Okay.
No.
Is this Red Skull?
Nope.
All right.
Who are these people?
Who are all these people? It was a bold choice, by the way, to have a pot-bellied, middle-aged man screaming at you on the cover.
The cover tells you
Well, that's
nothing.
Fanboy.
Yeah.
That's why he's standing
It's
over the
Fanboy.
ruins of all the superheroes.
Yeah. No, it's founding Avenger Hank Pym, a.k.a. Giant Man,
Right.
or Ant-Man,
Well, his stomach
or
is
Yellow
giant
Jacket.
at the moment.
Yeah. So the story opens in the future.
Oh, I like this art. It's very ugly.
Right. Just like the
is-
universe
which
that
works
they're
for
in.
this.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah. Oh, no. No one looks good in this universe.
Eh.
We're at this time capsule that's guarded by these two ceremonial guards.
Okay.
The narrator, who is Ultron, makes a point of saying that, like, the tomb is protected enough. Plus, you don't have to really worry about a lot of issues. So the guards aren't really that effectual. All they're there is for show, and also they're there to die, because I'm here to kill them. And so Ultron, the trench-coated, dispatches them easily.
Oh.
He says, I know that they're there to die because I, in fact, just killed them. The book is written in this very, like, tongue-in-cheek, kind of, like, jokey tone. It's very cynical and angry and bitter, which fits Peter David's style very well.
I love this room.
He opens up the time capsule, and it's literally like a who's who of who's dead in the Marvel Universe, and it's everybody. You got Thor's hammer, Punisher's shirt, Spider-Man's costume.
You have 2 Professor X wheelchairs.
That's right, classic and modern. You have the Beast's hide.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
You do.
A bunch of Iron Man.
a bunch of Iron Man
helmets,
stuff, a skull.
Vision's head.
Yeah, why not? It's probably alive.
I'm just keeping the room a nice, cool 72 degrees.
That's right. So Ultron, who does not look anything like an Ultron that you might remember, he looks more like a dude. He has made some special modifications himself. And so
that's the guy I thought was Apocalypse.
No, that's Kang. Ultron places a book in this time capsule called The Last Avengers Story.
What?
Wait,
It's not the comic we're reading. It's
Oh,
not
okay.
Grant Morrison didn't write this. But it is
You really had us for
it's a little meta where he puts The Last Avengers Story in the time capsule. Then
Did he write it himself? Be like, and then I killed them all. Ha 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 ha. You all suck.
right.
Also, my dick is bigger than yours.
Who's this book to? Just to the reader? Like
It's whoever finds it.
Yeah, just so they'll know.
It's so that everyone knows that Ultron's dick is bigger than the rest of the Avengers.
That's nice. So anyway, we go to Shoreham, which is the site of what was going to be a nuclear facility, but it never really got off the ground. So the Avengers moved their mansion there,
Okay.
or their facility there, I should say, because it's not a mansion anymore.
Right.
And this is not the Avengers you remember. This is the next generation of Avengers. Let me tell you something.
Oh.
These guys suck. It's the worst type of Avengers.
Who do we got?
Well, let's get into the roster after I explain to you the context
Okay.
of this universe we're in.
Sure.
We're in the
Okay.
world where most supervillains are gone or taken care of. In fact, some big purging took place of most of the supervillains, and we'll talk about what happened a little later when they find out about it. But suffice it to say, it's a brighter time, even though it's darker and uglier. You know,
Like, it's bleaker because there are less superheroes, but it's better because there's, I guess, less super crime?
yeah.
All right.
But also, Greenwich Village was razed to the ground in a grand superhero fight. There's lots of places that are just kind of wrecked, and they just kind of left them there.
Okay.
And there's
It's like a
didn't rebuild?
decaying civilization.
yeah, but people still can go to work and get the paper.
Right.
So it's like an apocalyptic future that is not too dissimilar from the future we're probably going to inherit. But it's just where we just leave our garbage.
Right.
You know, or a city's ruined and I can't afford to fix it, so I'm just going to leave it there.
Right.
Oh, it's Camden.
Anyway, we meet these Avengers, and for the most part, they're reactionary. They don't plan. They're not strategic-minded,
right.
and they're not very good at their job because they don't have to fight supervillains, really. So they're just kind of hanging out, waiting to put out fires.
Yeah.
Ultron has a couple of choice words for them. He kind of talks about how, the difference between heroes and villains is that, villains have, a work ethic. You know? Villains actually plan and plot and try, and heroes, naturally win, so they don't have to try too hard or think too much.
Or they just stop them hey, your entire plan has a purpose.
Yep.
My entire plan is
to stop that
you.
purpose.
Yeah.
I don't have to
It's
come
a
up
lot
with
easier.
Right.
I don't have
It's
to-
way easier to ruin than to create.
Yes.
So we see a bunch of these Avengers and they're playing poker.
Okay.
And you got some Avengers like High Tide who can
Some kind of
make
water-based.
water.
Yeah. Okay.
And
That's not bad.
they're so forgettable.
Yeah.
I have to and it doesn't really matter. But
I assume the book is not about these people.
No.
Thank freaking God.
no, well, so High Tide is pissed that Gestalt, who is a mind reader, might be using his mind powers to see into High Tide's mind
Right.
in order to
look at
cheat
his cards.
at cards.
Yeah.
You see?
Why would you even play with him?
Because
Right.
the stakes are so big.
Yeah,
right
and he
now.
says, no, please, I don't need to use my mind powers to see your terrible hand, High Tide. Your face gives it all away, lol.
I can tell from your face that you have a 2, a 7, and a 9.
Flush. Another one's named Sequoia. We don't really get much about them.
They're a
I guess they're
tree.
not going to last very long.
No, because Ultron drops an atom bomb on them and they all die.
Oh!
Villains hide, heroes don't. Villains scheme, heroes wait. Villains 1, heroes 0. Actual line in the book. So, Ultron blows up the Avengers.
Yeah, and anyone else nearby.
Right. And so the news cycle starts talking about how the Avengers are dead
Right.
and how thankfully
Oh, this is the last Avengers story because they all just died.
because they all just died. It's over
Yeah.
at the end.
Oh.
But then we find out the fallout. We run into Hank Pym, who is married to Janet Van Dyne.
Wait,
Okay.
he's still alive?
Not only is he still alive, but
retired.
they've all retired.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyone who's still alive, that is.
Right.
Now, it's actually kind of weird. Hank Pym is only in his 50s.
That is weird.
It's just a
It's only been a few years.
It's only been a few years, but
Okay.
the world that has superheroes in it is going to be bleaker than a world without it because their super heroism will of course ruin a city as opposed to wreck a building.
And also
Right.
eventually lead to their downfall, I guess.
Well, naturally. So the idea here is that Hank Pym and Janet Van Dyne are divorced, but then they got back together.
Okay.
And
Okay.
they basically just decided to work it out. Like, they didn't have anybody else in each other's lives, so they decided, like, oh, the devil you know.
Right.
And
It's
Hank
me
does,
or nothing.
I don't know, Hank. But then the idea is that, like, Hank loves Janet. He does, intrinsically. And
right.
Janet loves and Janet loves Hank. You know, things are okay.
He loves him
It's
enough.
complicated sometimes.
Well, it does get complicated, especially when, like, you backhand her in a Hello Jacket costume. So Janet has a problem, and her problem is that she got messed up by her wasp abilities. And so she's been progressively shrinking over time.
Oh.
She's right now at like 4 foot something, but she eventually will shrink into nothingness.
Okay.
And so Hank has been working since he retired to
Right.
try and cure her. So Hank is increasingly frustrated by his inability to help his wife.
Right.
She's going to
It's
shrink
like I'm a
into
genius
nothing.
and I can't.
Yeah, and I can't
fix
figure it out. I'm a super scientist. I invented particles that make you shrink or grow, and I can't fix this.
I can't stop her from shrinking.
I know, it's just the discs in her vertebrae. She's just slowly shrinking over time, that's it.
No.
It's normal shrinkage.
That's how regular people shrink, I guess. So they get visited by reporters who are like, Dr. Pym, please tell us more about like what's going on. Like
About your wife shrinking and how you can't stop it.
no, they want to know about like what's
What did you have for lunch today?
what? Get the hell off my property. So they want to know what his comment is on the destruction of the Avengers.
Oh.
And he, of course, like retired.
Like the who? What?
Yeah, no, he took his wife and they went to like a secluded cabin to get away from everything. So he doesn't even know that they're dead.
Right.
So they're like, what's going on? He's like, what?
Get the hell off my lawn.
Yeah, well then Janet shows up and she's like, he said get out of here, and what he says goes, and when I say go, you get out of here. And she blasts Hank's favorite easy chair with her venom blast and scares them away.
Yeah.
And he's like, what the hell, you destroyed my favorite chair just to make a point. And she's like, well, first of all, they're gone, and secondly, I've always hated that chair.
Oh, that's it. We're done.
Yeah. Wha-bam! So
And then she hits him.
then they're talking about like how this could have happened, how the Avengers could be destroyed so easily, and he's
dropping a bomb on them?
it's not that hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he
Plane.
didn't have time to
bomb.
plan about it because eventually he's visited by his son Ultron.
Right.
Okay.
It's Ultron 59.
Wow.
Wow.
He calls him Ultron 19, and he's like, no, I've made some adjustments. I'm Ultron 59. And he's like, okay, well, whatever. But like, so Ultron's like, yeah, I wanted to like find out more about being human and blah, 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 which is why he like looks like a person. Like he's evolved himself to try and like figure
more-
out what it's all about.
He's like Data. He's like if
Yeah.
Ultron became Data.
He's like evil Data, so he's like lore.
He's like Lord. All right. Cool.
Anyway, so he's talking about how, listen, I know that the Avengers are going to be destroyed because I killed the current version, but you're going to have to get all your little like buddies together. Everybody who didn't die yet, gotta get them all together and meet me and fight me in the last Avengers battle.
Okay.
And Hank's
Come
like,
on, Dad, do it.
Yeah.
yeah. And so,
What if I don't?
right. Well, then I'll kill all of you one by one. You won't be
You won't
ready
even-
for me.
You won't
Right.
even stand a little bit of a chance.
Yeah, like I've given you
I'm really giving you an opportunity.
here
Yeah.
to defeat me, but now, like, if you say no, I'll go and find you out and systematically murder you.
Right.
Anyway, I'll also see you at Thanksgiving.
Of course, I'll be bringing the stuffing. Ultron leaves. He like teleports out of there, and Hank and Janet have like a little squabble where she's like, "We should have fought him," and he's like, "No, we have a fighting chance now." And so
Does
Ultron.
she get smaller every time she turns into the wasp?
No,
and
it's
back?
not like if she uses her powers too much. She's just over
a
time. she's-
progressive.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
because there's no ticking clock
Got it.
for her in this book.
Okay.
There is in as much as she will eventually shrink into nothingness, I guess.
Right, but it's
Especially
not like
because
she
now
has
he's-
to like not do something.
Right.
or
It's
it
not
will
like
get
we've
worse.
already gotten rid of the wasp because she must, or she'll do a big heroic act that will cause her to
Doesn't
shrink
have to
into
shrink
nothingness.
forever. Yeah.
no.
Okay.
All right.
So Ultron 59 meets up with Kang the Conqueror on his special ship, and he's like, okay, so I told them what's up. Now, Kang, are you going to tell me what the plan is? And Kang's like, oh, I'll tell you what the plan is. It's all in this book called The Last Avenger Story, which I plucked from a secret bunker from the future. And
Oh, of course.
yeah, and Ultron 59's like, cool. What? What is this, a book? Like a novel? And he's like, hardly. It's a truth account that explains the systematic destruction of the Avengers, and I know exactly how to beat them because I've read the book. I've read ahead.
What is this, paper? We don't even have like a hologram?
No,
thing
it's an
that I can
actual
scan
book. It's a
through?
physical book.
Ugh, so this is lame.
I wish Kang were like frustrated by old technology the way that the kids are because he's such a time traveling douche. Anyway, so we meet like the crew, the bad guys, if you will. Ultron 59, Kang the Conqueror, and Oddball, who is like a big scary monster who is strong.
He's strong.
And another character called the Grim Reaper.
Whoa.
Oh.
Now, Grim Reaper is a supervillain from the Avengers history, but this is a new Grim Reaper.
Right.
The old
all
Grim
new,
Reaper,
all different Grim.
Exactly.
The old Grim Reaper got reaped by the new Grim Reaper.
Naturally. I don't know if this Grim Reaper killed him, but the old Grim Reaper was Wonder Man's brother.
Okay.
And this Grim Reaper is someone else's family member.
Okay.
Everybody's related to somebody in this book.
Sure.
But Ultron 59 hates Oddball because Oddball's a moron and he's like quick to anger and stuff. And
Yeah, and Ultron's like a super intelligent AI.
yeah, Ultron just like he's just so sick of it.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah, but Grim Reaper is like, no, Oddball's my boy, and I'm going to protect him at all costs. He
Right.
actually uses
I'm all about Oddball.
he uses his special scythe to chop off Ultron 59's arm when he dares threaten Oddball by grabbing his throat.
Yeah.
Ultron 59, of course, just like T1000s his arm back on, but he does like get the point.
Right.
It's like, fine, I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. So
Ooh. Is that the Grim Reaper?
this is the Grim Reaper.
His like face is like stapled onto his head
Yeah.
or something.
Anyway, so we're establishing that Grim Reaper and Oddball have like a kinship
Okay.
going on. That like Grim Reaper will protect Oddball, and Oddball really doesn't need protecting, but he does for some reason.
All right. Am I supposed to care? I don't understand. I just met these characters.
That's the thing. It's weird. There's 2 issues to this series, and most of them are characters you are introduced to immediately,
Yeah.
and I don't know them, and no one ever uses them ever again.
Right. Okay.
So Hank and Janet go to the site of the destruction of the New Avengers. And
The crater.
yes, the crater. And when he gets there, Cannonball from
Oh.
the ancillary X-Men team shows up, and he's like clearing away rubble and
Yeah,
just
we just
helping
talked
out.
about Cannonball.
Yeah.
A couple episodes ago.
Doesn't he become Penance?
No, you're
Is that
thinking of
Speedball?
Speedball.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, Cannonball is Sam Guthrie, and he is Southern and is nigh invulnerable when he's in his Cannonball state.
Right.
Okay.
He says that every time he does his Cannonball move.
Right, because no one can
Don't worry,
remember
I'm
his
not
friggin'
invulnerable when
power.
I do this.
Yes, he says that every single time that he becomes Cannonball, or he fires his Cannonball thing. But anyway, so Cannonball and the Human Torch, Johnny Storm from the Fantastic Four,
Yep.
they're working together to kind of like get to the bottom of it, clear some rubble, and see what's going on.
Okay.
They make a point to argue that like Human Torch looks good, but only when he's flame on. When he's flame off, he gets back to being like fat and old.
Ah, okay.
They don't explain why that works that way.
That doesn't make
Right,
any
why
sense.
his body
but
like
okay.
transforms.
But they do reveal that Johnny Storm, the Human Torch, married Alicia Masters.
Oh.
Now, he did marry Alicia Masters first. Turns out it was a Skrull named Elijah.
Right.
But then,
But
when
then
that
he-
didn't work out in this universe, he then found the real Alicia Masters and hooked up and married her.
Hey,
Right.
we made a go of it. It wasn't you, but I figured
But I
like
think this is a good move.
But it
I
worked.
think it was
it
good
worked
for
pretty
me.
well.
yeah, so it does, and they have kids, and those kids become superheroes. They're in this book.
Oh. Okay.
and the new one doesn't lay an egg.
Oh no, because she's a human.
Oh, okay. good.
Okay. Oh, so it's better all around.
Exactly. While they're looking,
Where's Reed Richards and
Reed
Storm?
Richards is at the
So they're not,
Fantastic
like,
Four.
dead or whatever.
Not at all dead. No.
Okay. All right.
Jan discovers Hercules' mace in the rubble.
Okay.
I
and-
thought that was a muffler.
It does look like a muffler.
Yeah.
So they tell a flashback of like what was to become of Hercules and his mace. And what happened was something threatened the gods of Olympus and also Asgard,
Okay.
Okay.
and it involved all the cool, strong, godlike characters like Thor and Hercules.
Okay.
And they called up their strongest friends like Hulk and the Thing.
Okay.
And roped them into the battle. And when the gods wound up fighting, there was like this big vortex that opened up, and ultimately, like when the skies cleared, all that was left was the Hulk clutching Hercules' mace, and his skin was burned to be gray.
Oh. So they created Grey Hulk here, kind of.
Yeah,
Is it a
except
reference to Grey Hulk?
it is a reference to Grey Hulk, but then Hulk becomes green later, so it doesn't take.
Right.
I guess the implication is that like there was some kind of big like explosion or something.
Right.
But his skin was the color of slate.
And they were, so basically the others were killed.
Yes.
Interesting.
So then some other new Avengers show up, or new superheroes who were not there that day, like Bombshell and Hotshot. Now, Bombshell refers to him as a hotshot, but also his nickname is Hotshot.
His name is Hotshot.
And he's also Black Knight's
What'd you say
son.
to me? I called you
Hotshot. By the way,
love that movie.
Hotshot stick, he shoots people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Deadshot.
Yeah, like Deadshot from DC.
Yeah.
But he's
But he
Black
also
Knight's
quips
son.
when he does it, so like he's a hot shot.
Yeah, I guess.
Or Bloodshot.
Valiant. Like, yeah, it's weird. Anyway, Hotshot claims to be the Black Knight's son.
Oh.
Bombshell makes the implication that maybe he's not. Who cares?
Okay.
So, but there is some history between Bombshell and Hotshot.
Oh.
Some sexual tension here, and Wasp like, no time for that. Moving on.
Right.
I don't care.
Right. Hank briefs all the current superheroes who are there about how Ultron 59 came to him and told him that there's going to be a big fight later, and we all have to be part of it.
Right.
And Human Torch says something like, Ultron 59? Last time I remember was of Ultron 19. He's like,
Right.
well, I guess he's gone through a few incarnations. So,
Does that really matter?
right.
Well,
And he
he
goes,
spent some time in Europe. He took a few weeks off. He
Yeah.
upgraded himself a little bit.
He
He found himself.
He found himself.
Yeah. He backpacked around.
Like 49 times. And meanwhile, at Washington Square Park, there is this like crazy person on top of the archway. And he's just
Okay.
sniping at people and
Oh,
and
jeez.
causing a general scene.
Yeah.
And the cops are like, you better knock it off or we're going to call in the SWAT team.
Okay.
And he goes, SWAT team? Come on. The New York Police Department can't afford a SWAT team. There's no way you have anybody.
Okay.
And then Jessie Wingfoot shows up, and she is wearing a shirt that says SWAT on it.
She's gonna swat him like a bug.
She literally swats the arch
There's a-
and knocks him off. There's a SWAT sound effect.
Yep.
It hits it. Get it?
SWAT.
Yep.
She
Jesse,
swats.
I didn't bring you
Yeah.
in here to ruin the Washington Monument.
Oh, yeah, no, they ream her out a la every 80s cop movie.
And she's just
You're
strong.
a loose
She's
cannon.
Yeah,
she's a Hulk.
She is a She-Hulk.
Okay.
Yeah,
Not the She-Hulk.
Nope.
a She-Hulk.
A She-Hulk, yeah. And so after everything's over, you know, the paramedics taken away, all the people who were like hurt, including the guy who was doing the hurting.
Yeah. Why didn't you just jump up there and punch him?
She's like, because that would have been funny. I wouldn't have been able to make the SWAT sound effect.
Yeah, but you destroyed a friggin' landmark.
And she says, yeah, but everything's here is destroyed anyway. Nobody comes here. This place is wrecked.
Fair enough.
Yes. And then Hank Pym shows up
have
and
no
she's
retort.
like, oh, Hank! And then she plants one on him.
What?
And she's like, it's so great to see you. And he's like, yeah, it's nice to see you too. And you get kind of like this creepy, like pseudo-sexual relationship between Hank Pym and Jessie Wingfoot,
Jessie Wingfoot, who we just were
who we
introduced
just
to.
met. And also, she clearly has things for him, but he doesn't have anything for her.
Right.
Well, he's in love with Janet.
Yeah.
How do these two even know each other?
Because their parents know each other.
Oh, I assumed they were just like, you know, we're superheroes. We all know each other.
Right, and they do. And they are technically part of the same, like, you know, brotherhood.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, you know, they haven't talked to each other in a while.
Okay. So they were both on the same Avengers team?
Or whatever.
Or something?
They know each other very well.
Okay.
Maybe they dated. But
Maybe.
we don't find out.
And then maybe he left her for
Janet. Yeah.
I guess.
But she doesn't get catty with Janet, so I don't know.
You know what? He tried dating someone bigger, and he's like, you know what?
It's not for me.
I gotta go smaller.
Smaller.
That's my fetish.
Yes.
He's making Janet shrink.
Or he's not trying to stop it, really. That's why he can't come up with the fix for it,
He
because he
could just
doesn't really
leave.
want to. In his heart,
Yeah.
it's what he wants.
Yeah, he's sabotaging himself. It's actually the Yellow Jacket personality.
Once you're 2 feet tall, then
Then
we will
I'll
have all the sex.
Well, oh, Jesus.
Jessie's a fun character because she's all in on the superhero thing. She's like,
Okay.
yay! Are we finally going to be real superheroes again? Unlike those losers that all died?
I don't have to work
she's
with
like?
the freaking NYPD anymore.
Yeah.
Thank
Oh, no, she
God.
quits. Yeah.
She's like Savage Dragon. She's a green police officer.
She is like Savage Dragon.
Yeah.
But before Savage Dragon was created, because he wrote this in 85 or 86.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Oh, maybe Savage Dragon
Maybe Eric Larson
Eric
has
Larson
some explaining to do.
ripped off this unpublished
Yeah.
story.
That,
He read it in a drawer somewhere. He's like, I'm gonna take this one specific
That.
idea.
And I'll make it a guy and a dragon. Okay, no,
Right.
it's probably
okay,
just
it's totally
a
different.
strange
It's just a
coincidence.
With like
coincidence.
a fin.
Yeah, she doesn't stay on the on the police department.
Right. She was only on the police so they could make that SWAT joke.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So,
Okay.
Because they were immediately in a private plane and they're going to get more people.
Okay.
And Hank reveals that he's like
Getting the team together.
Yeah, and he got some like spare Pym particles and he put them into a special like Pym particle gun that he can fire to shrink his opponents.
Okay.
He like did a he basically says that he's tested the equipment and it's all good. But we get a flashback to him testing it and it's like limp and clearly an erectile dysfunction joke.
Uh-huh.
And so, maybe he's not quite up to the challenge, if you will. But
Can't throw anymore.
yeah, but he's not letting it happen. She basically says, hey, we got the Human Torch, but like any other members of the FF, and he's like, I called Reed, but apparently his stretchy powers have like overtaken him, and now he's like Play-Doh, and he's falling apart. So he's wearing this like body brace that keeps him held together.
Wow.
Oh, that's creepy.
That's weird.
But he's like, listen, I can't function without the brace.
That is really freaking weird.
Yeah, it's like
Like it's trying to keep him contained, and like his bits that are exposed are all droopy.
Or just droopy, yeah. But he does reveal, like, listen, you want me to stay on the sidelines because I'm keeping an eye on Victor. Victor Von Doom, that is. Dr. Doom is basically like a vegetable. He's like a simpleton who is like, Reed and Victor are finally able to hang out and be friends again. And so, Reed gets off the phone and he goes back to like this special room that the two of them are hanging out in, and they're playing checkers, and he's like, now, Victor, do you remember what I taught you about this game? What should your next move be? And Doom goes, crown me, and he like plays the move. And he goes, that's very good, Victor.
Oh
nice
my
work.
gosh.
And you're like, what?
No, but
What
crown me
happened?
because I am king. I am Doom.
Yeah, well, and I know that it's definitely that. But it's
Yeah.
like, but there's some part of him that needs to be a monarch again. It doesn't matter. And Sue
What about Sue?
She went away. She ain't here no more.
Used her power to go away.
Yep.
I mean, eventually, she couldn't turn visible again.
Yeah, maybe.
We don't know where she
That'd be
is.
dark.
Maybe they kind
That
of.
belongs in this friggin' universe.
I know. So Jesse asks Hank about like what it was like to be a founding member of the Avengers and what it was like to be part of this heroic time. Like, remember when superhero comics were fun and you were part of them?
Remember
what was
when you
that all
weren't
like?
like all crappy?
Yeah, and he was like, it was like I felt adrift and lost until I became an Avenger, and then I like felt like I was part of a glorious whole.
I'm a little freaked out by how angry Iron Man looks in that shot.
He looks sinister because he's got a little grin.
Yeah, they all look sinister.
That's because
Except for-
Olivetti's just drawing it kind of like in this dark world. But
Yeah.
yeah. Because Hank's looking out the window of this plane and he's like seeing this cloud-like vision of what the Avengers were.
Yeah.
But anyway, he says like at somewhere along the line, everything got too dark and too grim and gritty.
Oh, wow.
You know what this reminds me of? All the
Comics?
Preacher covers.
Oh.
Yes.
Yes.
But it's also
In style, yeah.
clearly David is trying to say something about the future of comics and how they're
Right.
getting too bleak, too dark. When he says things got dark, perverse, and grim and gritty, that's when you're like,
Yep. Oh, okay. Grim and
I
gritty.
get it now.
Yep.
Eventually, Mark Waid will do this more competently with Kingdom Come, but I get what you're doing, and I
Yep.
think it's really fun.
Yep.
I guess.
I
I get in
didn't.
this place where there's like no even comics code. Ugh.
Yeah. And-
What about
It's like
the
everyone could
children?
just do whatever they want.
Yeah, and the you're not even making comics for kids anymore. It's just for like adults who just want to see them like have sex and kill each other all the
Right.
time.
I remember when the villain's blood turned red and it ruined everything.
Right? So Jesse and Hank land at a special compound
Like a bunker.
at a bunker, that belongs to Bobby Morse, aka Mockingbird, and Hawkeye, Clint Barton.
Yay, somebody we know.
Yeah, and they're together, and Mockingbird like lets them in, even though she begrudgingly does so because she doesn't want anyone to rope them into the superhero life anymore.
Right. We got out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not dragging us back
Right.
in.
But Hawkeye is blind.
Oh.
Yeah.
So he's useless.
That's right.
But like because he's blind,
I mean,
his other senses
he's-
is picked up like Daredevil,
Nah.
right? Like he can still shoot an arrow and
He can shoot an arrow,
Oh.
but he doesn't know where it's going.
I mean, yeah, you can shoot an arrow. It's just
You shoot
not
an arrow
gonna do
anywhere.
anyone any good.
Oh yeah, no. So Hank,
he's blinking.
yeah. So Hank gives them the rundown of what's going on, and Mockingbird's like, no.
Yeah, I'm not gonna fight Ultron.
Yeah, are you crazy? Get the hell out of my house. And Hank's like, damn it, Bobby, come on, like we're fighting for our lives. And she backhands him. She's like, you call this a life?
See what it feels like? Oh, that's what I've been doing to my wife? Oh, jeez.
I did it one time. I will say it is not too dissimilar from the way that it was portrayed,
It seems
but
like
in a
a
mirror
direct.
version.
How about if every time someone needs to make a point to Hank Pym,
They
they
backhand
backhand
him.
him?
That'd be great. But Jesse's
It's just like,
yeah.
I deserve this.
Right, but Jesse doesn't know the story, so she's like, "Hey, don't you do that to him? Like he's a good guy. Like he's a founding member of the Avengers. Come on!" And he's like, "No, it's fine. You don't know, but I kind of asked for this."
Yeah. Let her have that one.
And Hawkeye's like, listen, guys, come on. Like, all we need to do is convince Ultron to come into my living room, which I know like the back of my hand. And if he stands right over there, I could definitely shoot him with an arrow. And like, they try to
like
argue.
joking, or?
See, that's the thing.
Do they just break out laughing?
I think he's joking, and that's
Right.
definitely how it is sold. But everybody keeps saying that Mockingbird is the cynic and Hawkeye is the optimist in this new relationship of theirs. And I'm like, that's not optimistic, that's sarcastic.
Right.
But if they're saying that, I think the author's trying to imply that Hawkeye's like, maybe we can fit, and I think maybe it's more, if you want to get really dark, it's more like Hawkeye has a fucking death wish. He's like, the only thing that made me special was shooting arrows, and I don't know where they're going anymore, so please invite me to the Ultron fight, so he can break my neck and get me out of here. But instead they call him an optimist.
Yeah. I mean, maybe he is joking, but
Right.
he's trying to be lighthearted
Yes,
about
I
it.
think he is. I think
Yeah.
he's being just like levity in
Right.
this grim and gritty book.
Sure.
And Jesse's basically like, you know, we all lost people, okay? You think my parents are alive? Like, you think any of the superheroes who will appear in this book who have parents, that their parents made it out of this? No. And like, you don't see me crying about it. I'm trying to make a difference and be a superhero. You should too. And she's like, screw you. Being a superhero sucks. Like, that life will kill you.
Yeah. Okay. Or blind you.
Right, and so then she gives
Look
the
what
background.
it did to Clint.
Yeah, and what happened to Clint? Let's get the flashback about what's
back,
going
let's
on.
go back.
Ultron 19.
Right, the one they keep referring to.
Yes, that Ultron 19.
Whoa, he looks badass.
Yeah, he upgrades himself to be this cool, like, War Machine type giant robot monster.
He's a freaking mech.
Yeah, he's totally dope looking.
He's a Gundam like wet dream.
Yeah, he launches an attack against the Avengers, and a couple of the Avengers at the time were like Tigra, Mockingbird, Hawkeye, Wonder Man, the Hulk.
Okay.
And then,
A pretty decent team.
yeah, during the fight with Ultron 19, for seemingly no reason whatsoever, the Hulk just goes bad and just turns on the team.
Well, the thing that they're always worried about, he
Yep.
might just flip out for no reason.
And David wrote the Hulk, and he created the Maestro from Future Imperfect,
Right.
in which the Hulk is like a dick
Yes.
and the
Warlord.
despot and runs
Right.
the future.
So he always thought that that was possible.
Right, and David implies that after the Hulk went to the future and fought him and saw that like the doubt of his ability to become that penetrated his psyche and eventually made him into this type of
Right, he
character.
accepted himself.
Yes. So this is the catalyst, and now he's a dick.
Yep.
So the Hulk,
Once he knows he could be a dick,
he becomes
can't
one.
not be a dick.
Right. So while the Hulk is tearing into Wonder Man, Hawkeye fires a debilitating arrow at Ultron 19, turning him off.
Oh, like an EMP arrow or something?
More or less.
Cool.
They call it a disruption arrow.
Disruption.
But we get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so Ultron 19 like practically comes apart at the seams.
Like the droids in
Episode 1.
Episode 1 when the ship...
Except they actually hit the one robot. Like,
Yeah,
thankfully, they
right.
don't hit like the
Yeah,
control ship of all these.
Yeah, but he hits him with like a thing that just depowers him. But then when he loses power or whatever, he just falls apart.
Yeah, it's true, which is like a really
The
bad.
electricity was holding him together.
Yeah, it's all electromagnetic field.
Yeah. That's
It's
how he
held
can.
together by a bunch of magnets.
Yeah, that's how he can be like impressive and big and not like practical in any way.
Yeah, there you go.
So anyway,
take
Ultron
it.
19's off the table, but the Hulk is here now, and Wonder Man is like, we can't beat him. And Tiger's like, come on! Like, I can scratch his eyes out just as easily as anybody else. So she jumps on him, and she's scratching out the Hulk's eyes. And then the Hulk goes, hey, Wonder Man, make a wish, and then pulls Tigra apart.
Ah!
And, like, splatters her blood all over their faces.
That's where I freaked out, where you turn that page and I saw that.
Holy shit, that's
also,
fucked up.
when Hulk goes crazy, he also goes naked.
Yeah.
And so we got this, like, pseudo-sexual, like, violence
Yeah.
panel that depicts, like, what looks like it could be, like, a violation. But it's, like, it's horrendous.
Yeah.
So anyway, he kills Tigra, and then Wonder Man, like, just goes ape shit.
Yeah.
And so the two of them fight. And Mockingbird loses her nerve, grabs their, like, flying bicycle, knocks out Clint, and then bails.
Oh, wow.
Oh no.
Yes. So Wonder Man and Hulk fight in like this knockdown, drag-out battle in which ultimately the Hulk punches Wonder Man, who is, for all intents and purposes, all energy,
Yeah.
and disrupts him. So now he's gonna go totally nuclear.
Oh.
And so he basically just grabs the Hulk, because the Hulk tries to bail.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh no, you don't. You're
I'm
coming
taking
with
you
me.
down with me, yeah.
And Hawkeye comes to as Mockingbird and Hawkeye are making their escape.
Yeah.
And he's like, come on! And he turns back to see the devastation. and he is blinded by the nuclear blast.
Oh, thank God. I thought
She like stabs his eyes.
No, I thought she hit him so hard.
Oh, and that makes him
it
blind.
made him blind?
No,
Yeah,
no.
Oh, I think that's
The
better.
last
pretty
thing he ever
good.
sees is the destruction of the Avengers. more or less.
Right. Wow.
So Hank and Jesse leave empty-handed,
Yeah.
along with Wasp, and they talk about how Cap isn't there anymore. You know, at one point,
What happened to Cap?
oh, what happened to Cap? Cap became president and then was assassinated,
Oh.
which is actually in the comics. Like
Yeah.
Cap does run for president.
Was it by Red Skull?
No.
Dang.
Well, if it is, we don't know. They never
Right,
tell
they
you.
don't say
Okay.
Red Skull killed him.
Yeah, but if it was Red Skull, you can bet your boots they would have said it was
Yeah.
Red Skull. So
Yeah.
no. But
Huh.
Hank is funny because he's just kind of like he's broken and devastated, and he's not a leader, and he's just like, yeah, I was freaking Giant Man and Ant-Man. Like, I'm
Yeah.
not the leader of the Avengers, but he is
Right.
one of the founding members of the Avengers, and he's the best they've got. Then we get the flashback about how the Avengers really like got screwed over.
Okay.
And it was when the US government decided to have like an anti-villains initiative where they're like, all right, we just need to go systematically take down and arrest every single villain. So like the Avengers get like the biggest posse together and they go coast to coast, like hands across America, and just take down every single villain they can as like a full group.
Yeah, before anyone can
Like in a
group up against them.
coordinated
Yeah,
effort.
systematic strike. And then the US government just takes all the villains and they're like, good job, Avengers, and then just executes them with reckless abandon, and so they're just like dead.
Wow.
And the Avengers are like,
What the hell, man?
we're not that.
Right. They did. Well, the government did the thing that people are always saying that the
That's
heroes
why
should just
you
do.
didn't kill
Yeah, that's right. You
Yeah.
didn't.
Yeah.
You can still be superheroes
Yeah.
now.
We did it for you.
Yeah.
We did the thing you can't do so that you could still be you, and but also these villains would never come back.
Right.
You're welcome.
So Hank is just like, so we have this flashback to Hank when he was a little younger, and he's just like in tears, and he asks Cap like, "What am I supposed to do here, man? I think I have to quit. I think I'm done here."
Right.
And Cap's like, "Well, if you did, I wouldn't blame you, because
That was messed up.
that was messed up."
That was pretty messed up in here.
Yeah. And he says like, "What about you, Cap? Like, what could make you quit?" And Cap says, "I don't know. Death, maybe.
I'm all in.
I'm always in."
If the government said it's okay.
No, he is not. He then runs for president and becomes
Oh, so he
president.
can
Change things,
change it.
which makes
Change it.
sense.
That's
Yeah.
cool. Okay.
And then the government probably assassinated
Right.
him because
Yeah.
they didn't want that.
like, nope, we want to be able to kill
so they
villains.
all bury Cap, and Hank's like, "Man, if you're dead, like, what choice do we have?" And then, Jesse is like, "Come on, like, Hank, snap out of it. You got to wake up, and we gotta fight." And he's like, "Are you kidding me? I'm Hank Pym, no one's favorite character. How
What
could
am
I
I supposed
possibly
to
do
do?"
it?"
Yeah.
And by the way, there's also like a fun little like, I don't know, American folk tale about how like Captain America will one day come back. That, like he didn't really
There's
die.
like a prophecy.
There's a prophecy, more or less, that like
course
Cap
there's
will
a
come back.
prophecy.
Yeah.
Sure.
And Hank's like, "No, he dead. We buried him."
Yeah.
No, but legends will say. Yeah, well, the legends are wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You
So-
buried the man.
Yeah, but the spirit of America
The
is
legend
somewhere
remains.
else.
Yeah.
But so then we meet up with another character who we don't care about.
What are the villains doing? We haven't heard from the villains.
They're literally
Yeah.
just waiting until the day they told them to beat them.
Okay.
They're just biding their time.
Right.
They're having a nice lunch.
Probably. We see more of them in a minute, but like, so we go to the Himalayas, we meet the next generation of Sorcerer Supreme.
Okay.
And it is, and here's the thing, here's the big reveal, is that like Wanda, the Scarlet Witch with
Yep.
Vision, had
Yeah.
2 kids, just like in the other reality.
Okay.
And one of them became the Grim Reaper, who works with Kang.
Oh.
And the other one became the disciple of Doctor Strange, the Sorcerer Supreme.
Oh, okay.
And they are in communique with each other, but
Wait, really?
yeah, like occasionally,
So they're siblings.
yeah, they're siblings and they both like care about each other.
Yeah.
They're on way opposite
Oh
ends
yeah,
of the
no, the
spectrum.
Grim Reaper's like, "You're a fool. Like you abandoned us and became a disciple of somebody that's not even related to us, like some rando."
Yeah. Oh, you're related to Kang?
No, that,
Well, so
Oh, yeah.
like you're working with
right,
some rando
but you should be
dude.
with me. It's like, well,
You should be with me. What the hell?
And therein lay the debate.
Yeah. Well, that's what we call an impasse.
Right. So then in one page, we get a little explanation about like where other popular characters are. Like Jesse's like, "Okay, we can't get Hawkeye. We can't get Mockingbird. What about Black Widow?" And Hank's like, "Crippled. Black Panther? Dead. Quasar? Insane. The Wild Man, who is like another like obscure Avenger, dead and insane. What does that mean? Don't ask." What about Spider-Man? No, I called Spider-Man. And then,
What?
and that's the thing, right? Like every What If book Spider-Man's future is like he's a fucking spider monster, or his family's all dead, or he's dead, or he's fat.
When Aunt May goes, he's finally done, or
Yeah.
MJ leaves him.
Yeah, and he just implodes.
Or becomes like the leader of the Daily Bugle.
Right. No, that's never been a thing. But it's like he goes, I called him, and we see this
we
scene
can see it. Okay.
of Peter on the phone. He's like, no, Hank, I can't. Like, I have responsibilities to my family. And Jesse's like, psh, his wife said he couldn't go out. Whoosh, whoosh. And he says, there's also the matter of my son, Ben. Peter Parker is married to Mary Jane, and they have a kid named Ben, and no other weird shit.
They just have
has
a
a
nice
family.
They have a nice family, and Hank Pym is like, Peter Parker deserves a happy ending. Let's just leave him alone, and they do.
That's awesome.
And his son Ben is like, who's that on the phone? He's like, I'll tell you when you're older, or I'm dead. And he's like, what the hell? Like, you know? And he goes, no, I'm not gonna tell you.
Nice.
That's really funny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just Peter gets to retire and be happy.
And also his son is like angry with him and going through teenage angst.
Yeah.
He's like, no, it's normal life.
Yep. That's it.
That's nice. Oh, that's kind of nice.
Yeah.
Do we find out what happened to Wanda?
Yes.
Okay.
So, but that's a big reveal.
I see. They're deliberately not talking about Wanda.
Exactly. So they inquire about Marissa Storm, who is one of the kids of Johnny and Alicia.
Okay.
She has the ability to, like, Alicia's ability of, like, making, like, cool models and stuff, like, that she inherited from her father, the Puppet Master. But she can make it from, like, energy or something.
Fire.
Yeah, from, like, fire. Because she's like, I'm an artist, I make things of beauty, whereas you, Dad, you're, like, made of
just
fire, you destroy
destroy.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not gonna join your dumb, like, Beatles reunion tour.
Fair enough.
And he's like, come on, damn it, be a hero, be like me, maybe die. She's like, no. And Alicia's
Pass.
like, you know, and Alicia, his wife, is like, you know, she's stubborn, but like one day maybe she'll be a superhero, who knows? And, you know, and it's funny because they have this like little back and forth, and there's a cute little moment where Alicia's like in full support of Johnny.
That's pretty dumb.
I know, but it's
Well, she can be because she doesn't want to go.
right.
So she can be like.
And they don't make her, which I really appreciate.
Yeah.
So then we go to like a hotel where Hank and Jesse are staying as they like go to the next rendezvous point. And he's like, he's cooking up something, and she's like, "What are you working on?" He's like, "Oh, it's this microverse that I'm constructing."
Breakfast.
And she says, "Oh, it's a nice way to get it's a nice place to get away." And he's like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "Nothing. I'm gonna go take a shower now." Takes off all of her clothes, and he's like, "Right on, enjoy your shower." So
She said, I'm going to take a shower now.
Yep.
Ahem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she goes to take a shower, and then
Why won't you fuck me?
I know, it's really weird, but she doesn't get like angry or reveal that she's in love with him. It's just this like creepy sex plot that's underneath this book.
Yeah.
Well, she just knows if she shows enough green skin, eventually he'll have to do something.
I mean, come on. But eventually she blasts out of the shower because Tommy, the Sorcerer Supreme, teleported in there. And he's like, hey, sorry. Listen, like, you know.
I have to tell. Woo!
Yeah, because Janet told me that you guys were at this hotel, and so I popped in, and it's not exact science. I don't know exactly what room I'm going to pop in. You probably
I'm
did.
still learning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
How long have you been astral projecting on me? A couple minutes now.
at least a few minutes. But he says, like, you know, I'm in. Like, I'm part of the team now. Let's
Yeah.
go. And then the Grim Reaper, like, reveals himself as a hologram, and he's like, yeah, you're all going to die.
Okay. Thanks.
And they're like,
Thanks, Grim.
Yeah, they're like, thanks.
Oh, you're here too?
Yep. So then they leave. So they get in their plane and they go up in the air. And Hank is trying to recruit the Vision,
Okay.
who for some reason is like a giant statue in the middle of the sky.
What?
And thankfully he's immaterial, so it's not like you can smash into him.
Oh.
But
like,
he's just big and hanging out in the
just
sky
chilling.
somewhere.
Okay.
And they reveal that he's been like this since the remarriage of Jan and Hank.
He was just like, I can't believe they're getting back together. It's
No,
such a mistake.
No, something happened. A big
okay.
old fallout. A classic wedding drama happens.
I see.
So Tommy.
I was in love with Janet.
No, nothing like that. So Tommy, the son of Vision, goes before him and he's like, "Come on, Dad! Like you gotta snap out of it." And like Vision doesn't respond. He's like, "Fine, screw you. Then I lost 2 parents that day instead of 1." And you're like, "Oh, Wanda died during the wedding."
Okay.
Because Wanda wanted to marry Hank.
No.
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 It's just a classic like wedding issue that we don't get to see.
Oh,
Where
they'll
there's an attack.
Oh no, we'll see what happens.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Like they never get to have actually just a happy day.
No, well nobody does.
Nobody
but,
does.
except for
Not in this
Spider-Man
universe.
somehow.
Oh yeah.
But because Tommy mentioned Wanda, Vision now is thinking about Wanda,
Okay.
and he goes, "Forget him. He sucks." So
Wanda, yes.
yeah.
Stupid deadbeat. Yeah.
Yep. So
Sorry, I totally spaced out there. What was going on?
Yep. So the team all like convenes, and they like plan.
Yeah.
All right, so we got Human Torch, Tommy.
Yep. Human Torch, Tommy, Vision, or
Right.
Maximoff, I guess.
Hot
Cannonball, Hotshot,
Jesse.
Jesse Wingfoot.
Jesse SWAT,
Yep.
Yeah.
A Bombshell or whatever.
and Hank
Yeah.
and Janet.
Yeah, and Hank and Janet.
All right.
Janet's cute because she's like, "Come on, Hank, like pull yourself together. Look, you formed the Avengers
Yeah.
again."
Look at all these.
And he's
look at
like,
all these
"Yeah,
people
well,
that came out. Yeah, well, none of the
there's
good ones.
no way we're gonna win."
Yeah,
but
not with this.
like
fucking
we got to
B
come up with a
team.
real plan.
Yeah.
Okay, but I'm not licensing the name Avengers for this team.
Yeah.
It's just,
No.
I mean, look at us.
Please, we're barely the Force Works. So, Hank and Bobby get a clandestine phone call, and Hank goes to meet with Ultron 59,
Okay.
and the two of them have like a
beforehand?
yeah, like
Yeah,
a little
like,
like
all right,
the
I'm getting them
generals in battle.
together,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like because it's the night before battle.
I see.
See.
Okay.
And he's like, what are you doing here, Hank? Like, taking this stroll through Central Park? And he's like, yeah, I had a feeling you were gonna stop in, and like, I just wanted to like know what are you doing here? Like, what's the point of all this? And he's like,
Yeah.
I have to destroy you. Like,
Yeah, but why though?
right?
Well, there's a book that says I do.
Yeah. But no, he's just like, screw you.
Yep.
Like,
And Hank doesn't know about Kang.
I don't think it even matters.
He doesn't ask.
No, but Ultron 59 reveals that like he's like, I reached the pinnacle of being like a robot, so I augmented myself and changed into like this to try and like find out if I could be better than human as well.
Right.
And like it bothered me that humans might actually like be better than robots. So I evolved to become this thing, and now like I'm the ultimate experiment, and I'm going to destroy you as that thing. So
Okay.
the Avengers all like meet on like a miserable rock in the middle of like the devastated ruins of some part of Manhattan that was the battleground that Ultron 59 picked and told them.
And thank God it's already a wrecked area.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
they're having this in a nice spot.
Exactly. No, they picked a spot that's like cinematic, but also not morally compromised.
Sure.
Hotshot, of course, called the news teams.
Oh, God.
And the news showed up, and he's like, "Make sure you get my good side."
I guess that's some kind of commentary on
Yeah, well, on like
news.
like,
or-
good
the
side.
news, on vain people, on
Yeah.
like celebrities.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, why are we here? Oh, there's gonna be a giant battle.
Oh.
We're gonna die.
Oh no, the news
No,
is like,
no.
great, thanks.
Yeah.
So,
I'm gonna get the scoop.
yeah. So then,
Gotta put my life on the line for the big story.
Yeah.
hello Pulitzer.
Exactly.
Do it all the time.
So Kang's ship like comes crashing down.
And Spider-Man comes in. Did someone say Pulitzer?
Snap. No, he does not show up.
Oh, it's they're on his home turf and he doesn't show up.
Nope.
Huh.
So then Kang's ship showed up,
Uh-huh.
and the news has like a commentary about like, oh, it's huge and everything's going crazy. And Hank's like, okay, everybody's gonna have to get close together so that I can hit them with my microverse bomb, and we'll all shrink down and live in the microverse and get the hell out of here.
What?
That's his plan.
Why didn't you just
Escape?
do that before?
No, his plan was to get all the heroes together that he could, that Ultron 59 was going to assassinate, and then run.
He was so he's just tricking the heroes into thinking they were going to fight.
Yep.
When really he's just like, no, we can't win. I'm just gonna get us out of there.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you just shrink Ultron 59?
Oh, good question. Jan finds out, because he's like, Jan, quiet, I'm going to shrink everybody. And she's like, oh, screw you, Hank. Go to the microverse.
Yeah. Why don't you go to the microverse by yourself?
Right.
Well, the friggin' grown-ups
Go deal with this problem.
with like consequence and repercussion.
Fine, you go to the microverse. We'll deal with your son.
Yeah, so the villains attack Kang, Ultron 59, Oddball, Grim Reaper.
yeah.
And they go like into action. Hotshot breaks out one of his patented guns. He's firing at Kang. Kang's got a personal force field, which can't be penetrated. And then just as Hotshot's about to fire, he creates a force field around Hotshot that ricochets his shotgun blast into his own face. But don't worry, it got his good side. Lol.
Yikes.
More horrifying, terrible things happen to people. But like basically, Hank was right. Everyone's gonna die.
Yeah.
You know, Ultron 59 is gonna like crack the Human Torch's neck, and then Jesse runs in and he throws the Human Torch at him. They get into a big fight.
Yeah.
And
it's big, ultra violent.
Oh yeah, Jesse basically engages Ultron 59 in like a hand-to-hand combat, but Ultron 59 is practically like a humanoid T-1000.
Yeah.
So he can
like
like
her
morph
fist goes
around
through
her.
him and
yeah,
stuff.
he grabs her arm and like breaks it.
Ugh.
And then
Yeesh.
she grabs him and waits for Human Torch to come in and blast him. She's like, I can take it.
Yeah.
And then Grim Reaper comes up behind them and stabs her through the back and kills her.
Ooh.
And Ultron 59's like stomach like moves out of the way so it doesn't get pierced.
Yeah. Yikes.
And,
Wow, the bad guys are much better at this.
oh yeah, and Tommy, Sorcerer Supreme, was like, you son of a bitch, like you killed him, you're not my brother, rah! And as they're fighting, it's starting to break through to Vision, who's hearing like his sons arguing and fighting and like blasting each other.
Guys, I turned into a giant statue in the sky so I could escape your arguing.
But
you're still doing
You're
it?
still doing it here?
Christ.
Fine. Wham. Cannonball is like blasting into Ultron and like kicking his ass because he's 9 invulnerable.
I bet you forgot that I was, but I'm not.
But don't worry,
when I do this.
So Kang uses his force field to stop Cannonball and then restart him so that he basically like breaks his own neck as he smashes into a force field.
Oh. Yikes.
So Cannonball dies. So then Tommy breaks out some magic and starts blasting at Kang and Grim Reaper and Ultron and stuff like that. And, and Hank is like, wow, like things are actually like kind of like we're losing people, but like maybe we might not like fail. And then
That's hilarious.
what?
Where he's just like, say it backwards, brother, and you'll really impress us.
I know. It's like, what? It's funny. It's like a Zatanna joke,
Exactly.
but from another company. Then the heroes get surrounded by Ultron 20 to 58.
Oh, that's why he's 59.
Yes.
Wow.
And
Whoops.
so now they're screwed.
Yeah.
Marissa, who is watching all this at the Fantastic Four's headquarters, sees it all happening on TV, and she's like, no, I gotta help. So she runs away and joins the fray. So Oddball's gonna kill Janet. Hank shows up as a hero, saves the day by firing like his Pym particle gun or whatever at him, which shrinks him down. And then like they run away, and he's like, hey, don't leave me here, I'm too small. And then he's like, oh no, here come the Ultrons. And the Ultrons just like steamroll over him and squish him. And Grim Reaper somehow knows that he dies. And he's like, oh, Oddball's dead. This wasn't part of the plan. And then he like,
I'm out.
yeah, and he runs away.
Oh, wow.
I was in love with Oddball.
Yep.
We were gonna have a life together.
I guess like this was his plan. It's weird, but
We were bros, man.
Come on. He was
Who's
gonna help.
gonna drink Natty Ice and play GameCube with me now?
Okay.
Mockingbird shows up and she's like, you know, kicking the crap out of some Ultrons.
So we're down to just Ultrons and Kang are
Yes,
left
yes,
of the bad guys.
exactly.
Okay. But it's a lot of Ultrons.
It's a lot of Ultrons. So Mockingbird is like kicking the crap out of him, like bouncing over Ultrons,
Yeah.
and she's in communique with Hawkeye. And she's like, okay, Hawkeye, now. Hawkeye is on a building far away with his arrow,
Yeah.
and he fires one at like one of the main Ultrons.
Okay.
So like, as long as Mockingbird is in those areas, he can listen for her and then fire in her direction
okay.
and shoot at Ultrons.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
So
So
he's-
his senses are maybe improved, at least hearing?
I think they're using like Bluetooth or something, or the 1995 equivalent thereof.
Sure. Okay.
So then,
Maybe they've done a lot of practicing.
yeah. But Ultron 59 tracks down Hank and Janet, who are like hauling ass. Ultrons find out that Hawkeye's on the building, so they fire at the building, and he falls. Reaper and Tommy like fight. Ultron faces off against Hank Pym and Janet.
Okay.
Hank decides to take one of his microverse bombs
Ah.
and throws it at Ultron, who then just blasts it with his like laser vision.
Ah.
And he's like, nice try. That might have worked on me in one of my previous versions.
Ah.
But I'm evolved too far
Right.
for you to actually have any effect on me.
Okay. I know all your
Yeah.
tricks and moves, and I've adapted.
Right.
Son,
I've evolved.
I love you.
And that's the arrow that pierces his heart.
His icy
Robotic heart. No.
No.
He just laughs. He's just like, what?
What? So then Ultron goes in for the kill to hit Hank.
Yep.
But then Kang just shoots Hank in the back and he kills him.
Oh.
And he says, no, you don't understand. I read the book.
Right.
I know how this ends. I win. And then Ultron is like, you killed him. Like, Kang, you weren't supposed to kill him. That's my father. That was my one chance to closure. I didn't write this phony baloney, the last Avengers story book, and plant it in that stupid thing for you to find so you could go off book, you stupid, arrogant son of a bitch.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so then Janet Van Dyne shoots Kang through the eyes with 2 twin wasp stings that
Yeesh.
blast out the
shot me in the eyes!
They go back to the back of his helmet.
Nice.
So he's dead, and then she mourns the death of Hank.
Right.
All this happens in the span of Hawkeye falling from the building. He's like, hey, I'm still falling.
You can still save me.
Yeah. And so Mockingbird is like, hey, somebody catch him. So Human Torch like flies over there, and as
he catches him,
he
he
burns
burns
his
him?
arms off. No, like although that is the kind of style you'd expect in this book.
Yeah.
No, he like depowers his arms so he catches him.
Uh-huh.
And then and they catch him. And it's funny because Hawkeye goes, Mockingbird, you don't understand the impact of falling. Snap my eyes back into place and I can see again. And she's like, oh, really? He's like, no.
That's awesome. Yes.
Gotcha!
You stupid bitch.
I can't even see you flipping me off right
I
now.
want a
but I bet you're
divorce.
doing it.
Is that green chick still alive? So
No.
then Ultron gets really big. He like grows.
Oh. Well, now he's
Well,
going
now
to win.
he's the big bad guy, and he's
Yeah.
gonna have to kill the Avengers.
He still wanted to kill everybody else. He
Oh
just
yeah,
didn't want to,
he did want to kill Hank.
and he didn't want it taken away from him. Like that was
Right.
his
Oh.
moment.
I wanted to kill Hank because he's my father.
I
I
thought he
Yeah.
wanted to do it like last, or he wanted to like
Maybe.
finally make up with him.
No,
could
he
be.
wanted to
Everyone
kill him.
died.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I think he wanted to kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Reaper and Tommy are still fighting. Like they're throwing blades and powers at each other.
Yeah.
They're just ineffectual children.
What is Reaper's ability?
It's very unclear, but he does have a cool scythe, and his face is stretched over his skull like, a
Yeah,
creepy
that's
mask.
not an ability.
No, it's more of a disability, actually. But it's implied that he's powerful. He is half robot, or synthezoid,
so he's like
I should say.
strong.
Yeah.
He's got a
Fast.
scythe.
Yeah, like I
And he
said,
has
he
a
has a
weapon.
scythe, but like, and can hurt Tommy. Maybe it's a magic scythe because it's half Wanda, half robot, synthezoid.
Ah. Okay. So they're fighting.
Yep. But they fight, and they have like a brothers fight. Where it's like
Yeah.
you were on the wrong side. No, you're on the wrong side. Like,
Yeah.
you?
You're
Everybody
my
always,
brother.
everybody was worried about you and not me. And then Vision starts like descending towards the battle, but he's still
Right.
in his like weird like Christ-like pose.
Yeah.
And but he's hearing names that are familiar to him, and it's reminding him about like what happened on that wedding day.
Ah, yes.
And
What
then
happened?
and then we cut back to the wedding day, and basically Quicksilver, Scarlet Witch's overly clingy brother,
Yeah.
is just like, no, it's wrong. You marrying robots, it's gross. You
Oh,
should marry me. He doesn't say that, but that's clearly where we're going.
Yikes.
And ultimately, Quicksilver just smashes through Wanda into Vision
oh.
because the hex field protected Quicksilver from being killed by
By running
running into him. All that wound up happening was Quicksilver just squished Wanda.
Right.
So Vision and Quicksilver were still alive.
Wow.
And then Quicksilver just pulls a Denethor and just runs off the nearest cliff and just dies.
Wow.
And Vision's just left with like Wanda's mess all over the front of him. And then he like sheds his cape and then floats to the sky and then becomes an intangible giant statue.
Okay.
And like,
And from that day forward, he was no more.
yeah, but then he yells the name Wanda in present time
Okay.
and descends on Ultron and the others. Now also a giant robot who is also Ultron's son, because Ultron created Vision.
Right.
Uh-huh.
And so now you've got this like bitter rivalry that can come to an end.
Yes. It's all about fathers and sons and
Exactly.
And more fathers and
and
sons.
other fathers and their sons.
Oh, and sisters and brothers.
Yes, oh yes.
Yes.
At the
all
end of the
about
day,
family.
it's about family. Vision figures out, like he reveals that like Ultron's ultimate like evolution and attempts is for him to find a soul.
That's what he's looking for.
And he says, you don't have a soul.
You're a
You're a dirty robot.
Yeah,
You're
even
like
though,
me. That's how I
right,
know.
no, but he's like, but having like, no, I had a soul because it was given to me by my wife and my children. Like I had a
loved me.
life and love.
Right.
And then Ultron says, well, then I'll take it from you because you owe me because I gave you life. I created you. You have to give it back to me. And he's like, okay. So then Vision like goes into Ultron and then the two of them just like envelop each other and become this like one big dead being.
Oh.
Like the absorption of Ultron 59's weird new goopy body destroys the circuitry within Vision's synthesoid body, and then he dies.
So they just become
both
like
die?
a pile
Of like dead robot.
slag.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they're both dead. It's not
They
like
both
one
die.
wins. Got it.
Now he says, like, Jen, I can see Wanda. It must mean I'm truly dying. Even an android can die. How glorious. And then just passes on. So, like, everybody's dead, except for, like, Marissa, who didn't do anything,
Yeah.
and Mockingbird and Hawkeye.
Right.
A couple people
Yeah,
made it. Human
Janet.
Torch.
Human Torch.
Who I was convinced was going to die when I first read this.
Yeah, right?
But ultimately, they're like, you know, well, that was crazy. They built a new statue for, like, the Fallen and for, like, the big effort, like, that was, you know, the Avengers' last story.
Yeah.
And so, you know.
Huh.
So the story ends with, like, kind of like it's kind of bleak and sad,
Yeah.
but the heroes are still here. And
Some of them, yeah.
some of them may, like, move on. And then we cut back to, like, this like, crazy futuristic computer station,
Yeah.
which we've seen throughout the book. Like when the book opens, we see like these monitors that depict like the last Avenger story. It says things like on the screen like the last Avenger story,
Yeah.
and then it says like, okay, the last Avenger story file history is now complete. Next command, and it's like asking for the next command. And there's a voice from beyond it that says, "Next command. What else? Save the world." And it's Captain America in this rejuvenation chamber, and he's been kept up to speed about what's been going on, and he's getting ready to return.
Oh.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So he's going to come back.
So
maybe,
eventually
and
Cap will come
lead
back
the Avengers.
and lead this new
the
Avengers.
New Avengers.
And
So
in fact,
like he got the history of what happened to all the Avengers.
Right.
yes.
So he
And
knows.
now he's like, all right, I can fix this.
Yeah, or it's time for me to come back.
Yeah.
Now that everyone else is out of the way.
I can
Interesting.
move on. Well, no,
Okay.
that the riffraff is gone. Like
Right.
Hotshot and those lame asses in the friggin'
Well, they're dead
nuclear
now.
reactor. Like those people are all dead.
Yeah.
Turns out it was a government conspiracy all the time.
Yeah, kill
Kang
the
the-
lame Avengers.
Kang the Conqueror was actually hired by Captain
Oh
America.
my God, no!
To get Ultron.
Cap was
to
not
start
in
a
on
war.
the government assassination
No,
attempt. He
no,
was
he was-
disillusioned by it.
Yeah, but instead of quitting, he ran
tried-
for president.
yeah, he was like, well,
he tried to fix it.
I'll
and
become
look
the
what
system.
happened.
Yeah,
look
he
what
was
happens when you try to
assassinated.
fix things.
Right. So the last Avengers
You get
story
assassinated, and then you somehow survive, and you
have to come back and clean up everybody else's
recuperate in a
messes.
weird chamber, and then you show up at the very end.
Right. And
That's the lesson.
And that's the lesson.
That's
of
really
it.
the lesson.
That
Peter
is-
David's the
that
last
is a
Avengers
weird
story.
ending.
What happened to
Yeah.
what happened to Iron Man? Did they depict Iron Man?
Yeah, they say he went away. They just straight
Like
up don't.
Sue?
Oh yeah, they don't.
Maybe
They,
he ran
they,
off with Sue.
They don't even say. Like they don't even tell you what happens. They just say like,
Boring guy that we don't care about who's not making us
yeah,
money.
you
this
mean in
D-lister?
in '86 or '95? Who
Yep.
cares? It's Iron Man.
Right.
He's lame and dumb.
Which is
Yeah.
hilarious because the book is about Hank Pym,
Right.
who's even lamer than Iron Man.
but I
Yep.
was there when it all began.
Yeah, but so was Iron Man.
Yes, but Hank Pym.
Right.
Particles.
But no one will complain except like around '95. You know, like Iron Man was a D-lister. They, you know, all they could think of to fix him was give him different armor.
Yeah.
So like the last Avengers story is bleak and it gets rid of some of the founding members of the Avengers, but it also like gives you a little warning about what happens when you like go all in on grim and gritty and lose
Right.
hope and stuff like that.
Like, see, do you really want this?
Right. And it's also kind of cool because like, you know, I like how the villains screw each other over.
I'm actually more shocked about how the heroes screwed themselves over.
Yeah.
Like with Quicksilver and Wanda.
I
And
know.
the fact that he couldn't just like get over the fact that she was in love with Vision.
I know. No, it's interesting because like we're supposed to, you know, deify these heroes and want to see them in these futures, and then when you find out what happens to them, it turns out they destroyed themselves. Like, it wasn't like Old Man Logan, right?
Yeah.
The villains all team up and fuck over the heroes.
And then he gets back with them, or gets back at them.
Right. Well, Wolverine kills all the X-Men because Mysterio screws him over, but it's a villain.
Yeah.
In this, it's like the Avengers are basically just like the Minutemen from Watchmen. They're
Yeah.
just a bunch of psychos
Yep.
who think they have like the authority to do crazy, horrible things.
And there's a bit of infighting, but at the same time, they also just like get old and then fall apart.
Right.
Not physically fall apart. Well, some
No,
of them
but
physically fall
mentally.
apart, but like, yeah, mentally, emotionally,
Yeah.
they just scatter.
Right. But some of them don't, like Cannonball,
Yeah.
who does die, but you know, you are going to lose a few. But this story,
And if it's Cannonball, that's fine.
I guess. I mean, like, by the way, the story is collected. There is a trade of this, which I thought was interesting. Though you can probably find this in a dollar bin like I did. And, you know, you can pick it up anywhere. But there is a link in the description box below this video for you to get the trade paperback, which has a couple other things in it.
I would love it if Marvel was like, we are about to go out of business. Let's just write the last Avengers story.
Yeah.
And this is how it
Well,
ends.
they did The End, which was that label where they were like, we're never going to print the last ones.
Yep.
Get the people who are seminal authors of their respective titles to do The End. Like Claremont and the X-Men. Peter David got to end the Hulk. But he, before all of that, ended the Avengers in this like oddly like celebratory printed book, which is hilarious because like it's, look at this. Like, what is
what is
this?
that cover that I've never seen before?
And what's funny is like the cover is, I kind of like it. Like I kind of think it's neat, but
I like it just because you get this art behind it.
Right.
Like you get to remove the cover and then you just get cool art.
right. This is the last Avengers story, kind of,
Right.
but there's more.
It's
like
certainly called that.
yes, it's called that, and it's silly and weird, but like honestly, like Ben said, like the art's neat.
It is neat.
I've never seen a Marvel book look like that. I mean, look at this Skeletor Grim Reaper.
yeah.
Like, look at how
that's-
dope that is.
That is dope.
You know, you want to see like a grotesque, but, you know, Conan-esque heavy metal type Avengers book
Well,
with characters you'll never see again.
the future is dark and bleak.
Like this
so
art.
is the art.
Yes.
Like it's cool, but at the same time, it is ugly.
The future is ugly.
You don't want to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
No, it's neat. It's a neat idea.
Yeah.
So check it out. I recommend it, I think. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think it's the best written story ever written, but
But it's a good read.
it's a fun read. It's fun. You
I
know,
was
it's
surprised by some of the things that
utterly
happened.
harmless. Yeah, and it's fun because they never really did anything else with it. So like you could always speculate about like what happens to these characters or who they were and stuff like that. Like they don't give you everything. You know.
Yeah.
And there's always the chance that you could always see like High Tide and Sequoia in the current Marvel universe.
Yeah.
Probably
you
not,
could.
though.
You never know.
Mostly not. No,
Yeah. Probably not though.
probably not.
So Bombshell made it too.
Yeah. Hey, there's a silver lining.
Yeah.
Bombshell made it, everybody.
Bombshell made it.
Oh, thank God.
But anyway,
And half of Hotshot's face.
no. It goes through that other side of his face.
Oh.
Yeah. No. It hit him on the good side, but it.
But it came
so
through the bad
Bombshell
side.
is
Yeah.
better off.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, she's alive,
Yeah.
And without Hotshot.
And
and Hotshot's also dead. I don't know if he deserved to die, but he definitely is, like, you know, objectively dead. Anyway,
He is objectively
objectively, he is.
he
dead.
is indisputably dead.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll see you guys next time. So long, and thanks for watching.
It's like whole body Viagra.
Only the inverse.
What?
Viagra makes you rigid and able to perform, and she is shrinking.
Yeah.
So how is it full body Viagra?
It's full body Viagra because he wants her to grow again.
Oh, he's trying
See,
to get her.
No, because the
full-body
thing she's
Viagra.
doing is not full body. This thing.
Yeah, the thing he's trying to invent.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
But even then, she would only be firm. She wouldn't be bigger.
Well, and if it
Well,
if
he's
she got
trying to
bigger
make
for
her,
more than
like-
4 hours,
he's
you'd
trying
have
to
to
make
call
her
a
bigger.
doctor.
Yeah, you know, you got. Anyway,
Yeah. Okay.
so Hank's trying to cure Janet's problem,
Yeah.
and he's getting increasingly frustrated by his inability to perform. So
I'm not making the joke again.
good.
It was just
I know. I'm not.
He
I'm-
needs fucking full body Viagra. He needs life Viagra. or
Nope,
something.
leave it alone. It's not going to happen. I'm going to take it again.
Stop trying to make
I'm
the
not,
Viagra
I'm not
joke
editing around
happen.
all this.